Today's guest is a man who has mastered reinvention. From the oil fields to force features, Kason Roberts started in the high-stakes world of the oil industry, where pressure, precision, and performance are everything. But he didn't stop there. He leveraged that discipline to build a thriving roofing company, scale into real estate development, and earn his seat at the table among top-tier entrepreneurs. Now featured in Forbes, Kason is a multi-industry leader who knows how to take a calculated risk, build real equity, and stay grounded through it all. Whether he's managing large crowds on the job sites or structuring multi-million-dollar real estate deals, Kason brings clarity, grit, and vision to every move he makes. In this episode, he's gonna tell us how he did it.
All right, everybody, we are so glad that you're here at you. Here are your guest speakers. Live value folks.
I want to say thank you to everybody for coming. Everyone that is here today, and the one of my brother Kason. We have met in a pretty short period of time, and we have become brothers. We're in business, and that's why he's coming down here to share what he has done so far in his journey. So I'm very thankful for everybody showing up, and I hope you do it. Thank you everyone for being in the live podcast of Body Talks, where we're gonna showcase Kason. And so I will start asking you, and for an introduction of you, where are you from, what you have done so far, and you travel Texas. So tell us why you're here today.
I'm here to bring value to everybody here today. I want everybody to be able to take something from this live podcast home with them that's going to actually help them in the future. I'm originally from Tyler, Texas. I grew up in a small town called Tyler, Texas. I was taken away from my family when I was 8 years old. There were 7 of us taken away. And it was such a hard journey along the way. Getting moved into an orphanage, away from your real mom and dad, abused, raped, like a lot of things, like having to eat spoiled food, having to fight for your life every day, because like being a, African-American in Texas, you don't get to go to a good home like a lot of other kids do. So that's just how it is, So you pretty much got to deal with what you're dealt with. So along the way, I was told I was never going to amount to anything. I didn't believe that because at the end of the day, like, I know my God is real, and I knew he was with me the whole way. But I'm just thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be able to, tell my story to y'all people today.
And so, we need getting to know each other lately, but I don't really know that past. So you were in the usual work. You always had a business. Did your dad tell you about business? How did you got into entrepreneurship and to develop and
Well, it all started in the summer. I used to bale hay and I used to rake and I used to put on roofs in the summer in Texas. It was so hot. I hated it. I pretty much never wanted to do that. I said I would never do that again. So after I went out to college, I got hurt. Yeah, it's from knocking doors. Yeah. But after I went out to college, I got hurt. I had 3 concussions and I had to go get a job. So what I did is go work in the oil field, and I worked there for like 5 or 6 years. It was very, very rough work. I saved up a lot of money and invested into a construction company. Like I said, I never wanted to do roofing, but I knew the business. I didn't really know the business at first, but I knew how to do the work. So I knew how to find the crews to do the work, and I knew how to sell. So I started knocking doors. One of the first jobs I sold, I made like 30 grand off of it. So then I got like a adrenaline rush. I wanted to go get more. So then I started getting 1 to 3 deals a week. Then it started turning into 10 to 20 deals a week. Just basically went from there.
Wow, that's crazy. And tell me about your mindset. How was your mindset at the time when you got started? Doing a business and becoming an entrepreneur, it takes guts, it takes resilience, it takes to have that mindset. That's what I'm asking. Do you have that foundation?
Yeah, for me, it was just like either do or die. Because I knew I didn't want to work in the oil fields no more. I wanted to work for myself. So it was either do or die.
I see. And so when did you run that? Was that after or before the business?
That was after the business.
Did the business tell you, like, what is in the book or what is it about?
It's about like what I had to go through growing up, but how I changed it and made it very positive. Like, it doesn't matter what you go through in life. You can't use it as you can't play the victim. You got to use that as power, keep it in the back of your mind, and fucking expand. That's what you have to do. Excuse me.
No, it's all good. And well, right now we're doing the deal, right? We've been talking a lot about what you did before in oil and all that, and how that taught you so much, right? And so now the concept mind is not what you know, but who you know. Because now, because of all that experience, you get to be in big deals. Because for me, commodities is a space that real estate, and now that I'm getting to know it, it's like wow. So, what do you think about that? The people that is in your network, how do you take care of them on that circle? Is it important for you?
It's very, very important, guys. Like, I can't stress it enough. Your network is your net worth. So, you know, and nobody knows you, or you don't have a circle, you're hanging out with clowns all day, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
That's a fact. And what about the person right next to you? We're talking about spouse or husband. How do you think how important that is? Okay.
I say it's very important. You know, like you got to choose the right. You got to choose. I don't watch what I say, but you got to choose the right person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. They got to understand what the vision is. They either got to be a part of that vision, or contribute to that vision, or it's not going to work out. You know, if you're with somebody that's nagging you every day, telling you that, oh, you're not going to amount to anything, or you shouldn't start this business, you need somebody that's going to support you and be there for you along the way. Because if they're with you when you have nothing, and they build that multi-million-dollar business with you, they're going to stay with you because they understand like what it is to start something from nothing.
Well, let's talk about development. How do you get into development? Because home services and roofing is totally different. So, how do you find out how to get into development real estate?
Well, there's a lot of multiple ways you can do it. I mean, you can buy courses. You know, basically what I did is I had a strong network. So one of my mentors is Grant Cardone. So I did a lot of work with him for over 3 years. Did a lot of case studies on like different like areas to buy land, make sure the areas had like good comps and stuff like that. And one of my foster brothers that I grew up with, he's been a general contractor for like 16 years. So what I did was partner with him. He already knew what to do. I already knew the construction business. So I partnered with him. Got funding from like lenders because you got to have a track record. So he had the track record and we partnered up and we just pretty much took it from there.
And you lenders have track record.
You said what?
You lenders have track record.
I had a track record in roofing because I was able to use my income from the roofing and leverage to get money to go buy land.
Wow. And how much? Okay. How many houses are you building right now in Texas?
I got about 5 going up right now. We're planning on doing like 10 this year.
Wow. I don't know if you guys understand this, but without a developer, there is no realtor, there is no real estate at all. Like the developer takes a DAW, an idea, and the investors believe in it, it's construction, and everybody put it all together. And a big shout out to you, man, because you're building a whole foundation for families, And now we're gonna start doing that here. I want to let everybody know we're going to take the same concept and we're gonna do it here in Florida. Is there something that you want to tell somebody that they want to get into development? They don't know how to get the foot in the heat side of the door. How would they start?
Well, basically, you want to be careful. Don't give your money to the wrong people. There's going to be a lot of people out there along the way that's going to tell you they know how to do it. Make sure they have a track record. Make sure they know what they're doing before you give them money, because once you give them the money, it's gone. And what I mean by that, because there's people out there that are professional scammers. Yeah, professional scammers. And what they like to do is they like to problem a week. And what they like to do is put together fake contracts that look real. So make sure you have legal counsel behind your back so you don't have to go through losing money that you're never going to get back.
Wow, and how that goes through your team as well. That's who you do business with. But what about your team? About that trust, and how do you keep that curated inside your team? How do you make sure that you have the right team to, they don't screw you, they take over your projects or whatever it is?
Well, I have contracts in place, but before anybody comes onto my company, I had to, we do a very, very high value interview. You have to take a personality test. That personality test, it's going to tell me everything I need to know about you. So if you're a fucked up person, I'm not going to hire you. That's just the bottom line, because the last thing I want is a messed up person coming into my company and I'm in lawsuits at the end of the day now, because people will literally act like they're your friend, but they're really your enemy. So you got to be careful who you hire at the end of the day. And once I hire people in, I make sure they get constant training, 15 minutes a day every day, 1 hour a week of full training. If you don't show up to training, you're fired. That's just the bottom line. I don't have time to babysit people.
Okay. What if I want to get into development? Do I need money to get into development? Can I borrow Ibu's money?
You can borrow money, but you got to be very careful borrowing money. Depending on
track record, but what do I need if I don't like I'm somebody in the audience and I want to start development? What would you tell me? Do I need to start looking for money? Do I need to start looking for land? What do I start? Where do I start?
I would definitely study first. Study what you're going to do first. And what I could do, I could help you out. And I have a whole team. We can help you out. We have courses. We do a mentorship program to help people out. It's $10,000 a year. That's very cheap. A lot of people tell me I should be charging more, but at the end of the day, I believe in creating long-term relationships.
No, I see that. That's how we met, through. So just so you guys know, I went through one of these events with his partner. I did a podcast with, and now we're here, right? And we're working together. We're building his brand. Just so you guys know, this guy was featured on Forbes. Can you actually tell us that story? How you got featured on Forbes? Like, that's crazy.
Man, honestly, it was crazy, man. I remember them calling me in 2023 because they heard about my story, about me going through like foster care and like me building this, multi-million-dollar company. Because when you have an online presence, everybody sees you. The good and the bad people see you. So I kept getting these calls, and I was like, "Who's this?" They're like, "Hey, are you interested in being featured in Forbes? We heard about your story." I was like, "I don't have time for this shit." I hung up the phone because honestly, I thought it was a scam. I hung up the phone for like 2 weeks straight, and I finally just answered, and they're like, wait, please don't hang up. And literally I did an interview with them on Zoom, flew out to one of their like areas in Dallas where he had like an office and stuff, and they had like a professional writer to write up my whole story and to publish it.
Oh, damn. That's pretty cool. You feel like a celebrity? You feel any difference now that you're featured on Forbes? Or you still believe that like you're as creative and as powerful as anybody that doesn't have a person around?
Yeah, I'm a spirit, man. I'm not a body.
So you believe that you're like everybody here? Like,
yeah, we're all the same. I'm not better than anybody in this room.
That's the mindset, That's why I love doing business with you, because the mindset that you have when we met, you were speaking about it. And I'm all about that. That's the foundation with everybody that I want to work with. So, reach out to you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Glenn, man. I love you, man. I love you like a brother, man.
Let's talk more about like personal stuff, right? Family-wise, how important is family to you?
Very important, man. I have 3 boys. I have a 6-year-old, and I have 2 twins. They're identical twins. I had another boy, my first, but he's no longer with us. He's in heaven. I buried my first son. My family is very important to me because I come from a messed up background, as I've already told y'all. So I never had a mom and dad. So for me, it means a lot to me to like give my kids everything I never had. So everything I do it for them.
Is that a bigger purpose?
That's my purpose.
Bigger purpose in yourself.
Yeah.
And how important is God to you?
He's my number one.
Hey. People don't like to talk about religion and stuff like that, but it's regular to me. Let's talk a little bit about the system. When we met, at night, we decided to smoke cigars, and we ended up talking a lot about the system, how it works, right? And what would you tell people, we're basically in a game. Well, what do you think about that?
The whole system that you've been taught is a scam. Whatever you've been taught about money is a lie. I'll say that now. And there's actually laws to back it up.
Why would you say that? It's not because they create money out of the area, or why?
Everybody in this room, when you're born, you're actually born rich. What the government does is they take your identity, your social, and they trade it on redemptive trust, which is a bond, and they make money off of you. So that's one of the reasons why Trump got away with what he got away with is because none of it's real.
I got no respect for you because you're an American and you're still a hustler. You still have a mindset. I mean, all the Hispanics here and in my neighbor, I admire them all because they have that drive. But you didn't need to. I mean, it's all of us have a hard life, at some point. But you did it. You have, credit. You have so many things here. You still decide to hustle and get where you are now. So how do you get into that? Into learning, into being a master of the game, being a student of the game. How do you start being like that?
I would say you gotta stay very disciplined. You can't be out drinking every night and doing drugs and partying and stuff like that. You gotta stay very disciplined. You gotta train your mind. When my alarm clock goes off at 5 a.m., I don't turn back over. I get right up because this is what we do. We go to work. We control our mind. I don't care about my body being tired. I have kids to take care of. I have a legacy to create.
This legacy emotion. No, and I love that, because you're also, how I see it, the real value to people in Texas, right? Building houses. We're big building value by building your brand and people hearing your stories and related to you, understanding that you didn't just got there, but it earned it. It took time, it took sacrifice. Slick as nice, waking up early, whatever it had to do to get there, right? Yeah. And can you tell us one of those sacrifices that you can have in top of your head that you have to do to get where you are,
I sacrificed a lot, I was told.
What was that?
That I had to work a 9 to 5 the rest of my life.
Who told you that? Was that family member?
Everybody, I mean, the whole world, and that's what they prepare you for in school. That's why school's like a prison. They prepare you for that, to trick you.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm so big self development just because of that. I believe we also study. Don't get me wrong, but I believe it from the right source. Because if you're starting from the college, they're basically in health, it's on the system, and they basically they control this and
It's the Matrix.
correct. And so when do you discover all this? When do you open like your eyes and you're like, wow, is this how it works?
I say I knew it for a very long time, even when I was in school. A lot of people in school thought I was dumb. But really what I was doing is I was playing the game against them. I was like, I knew I was never going to need any of this stuff. All I needed to know was reading and math. Because I need to know how to count my money, of course. And I knew I needed how to know how to write and read contracts. But I always knew there was something like not right. I'm like, none of this makes sense. Why are they trying to shove this down your throat, saying like, oh, if you don't get this, you're not going to be able to go to college, or you're not going to be able to get a job. But they never taught you about business in school. They never taught you about business. They never taught you about taxes. They don't want you to know anything about that. Because you know about business and taxes, you take over.
Funny enough, we were talking yesterday about that when you start your business, you got to buy your tech pack. So is when you take the step to create, take the leap of faith, or however you want to call it, to believe in you and the value and the experience that you have to go and service a product, whatever it is, right? And a prince profiting present that you're 30 years old and you're already maybe 7 figures on the real estate at the Batman, and just by providing value. So if you think about it, when you go and work a 9 to 5, you're giving your time away, maybe whatever, you have to go there, but you take that leap of faith, then you can get work, right? And you'll start from other services and then putting yourself in call to win and into that position to win, right?
Yeah.
Where's your goal with these developments? Where you want to do like mansions out here in Miami, and what is your vision once you close these new constructions that you have, and where is next? You do it commercial? What is it?
We're going to scale. Our plan is to get to literally $1 billion in the next 3 to 5 years.
Ooh, let's go.
And I know for a fact it can be done. A lot of people call me crazy when I said I would build a multi-million-dollar company. I did it in 3 years. And I believe we're going to do a lot of more greater things. Having the right people in place, having the right team, we're going to scale to the next level. And maybe with some of you people in this room. Yeah. You never know.
No, literally, it's what roles are you now? And there are people that like you said, you come into Miami and you do a couple meetings, you go back, you already have to come back because of a meeting, like another contract or another business that you're gonna open, and another opportunity, right? And it's all about that. It's about that next person that you're gonna meet. Because it can be a attorney boy. It could be your next contract. It could be your business.
You only gotta be right. You only gotta be right one time, guys. You're one deal away from changing your life.
Yeah. And so today I wanted to talk about real estate because it's the highest ticket in the market. Not with your own services, no coaching, no products is gonna be as higher ticket than real estate. So if you wanna have money, you need to talk about money, right? And I believe having being in these rooms where you can talk about it, you can talk about development. Oh yes, I'm looking to raise $1 million. Okay, so show me your project, show me your track record. That's the first thing I ask him. Okay, like how many you have done, and you have a track record. Yes, I have fair lenders, this and that. So networking for me is so important. And that's why I learned to do these gatherings for everybody to connect and be with the right people. Not just with anybody, because you can hang out with anybody, but the idea is to be with the right you. Do you agree?
I agree with you 100%, man. Couldn't agree with you more. If you got the wrong people with you, you're just gonna go down. You gotta make sure you have the right people by your side when you're going up. So I see a lot of people all the time. They go up, they make a lot of money, and they just crash. Well, it's because they got the wrong people around them. They got people around them that just want to use them and just take what they have. So you got to keep your circle very, very, very small along the way. Honestly, I'm lonely because I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of, business partners and brothers and stuff like that, but you don't see me with a lot of people. If you see me with somebody, I'm either made money with them before or getting ready to make money with them. I protect myself, man. I've been through a lot. Everybody ain't your friend. People will smile in your face and tell you that they're your friend, but they're not.
Well, that's deep. And it's all about that. When you build a relationship there, it becomes more than just business, and it becomes a relationship where you can trust that person. Come basically like your family. I believe your family is not only your blood family, but the one that you build throughout your journey. Because those are the ones that are going to support you, they're going to do business with, they're going to refer you, they're going to be here to celebrate and to be in your downside. So there's those are strangers. They're not even like your own family. When you're opening a business, sometimes we're scared because our family sometimes doesn't support us 100%, and that's okay. They do it out of pure love, just because they don't want you to take that risk and fail. They want to here to support you. What do you think about that? Do you agree that it's important now you're building a family to support them, and we are all like in our heads sometimes, right? We're creating, and if we don't have that support of somebody with that acceptance, sometimes we don't go forward with those thoughts because they call you like, you're crazy. What do you think about that?
Man, I had a lot of people call me crazy along the way, but I didn't listen. The good thing about it, I didn't have a mom and dad, so I don't know how that is having like a mom and dad tell you like not to start a business. I mean, I had friends and stuff. I had friends around me as telling me not to start a business, but I did it anyway because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to do what I wanted for me for the first time in my life. I feel like my whole life I did everything for other people, but I never did anything for myself. So that's really what I wanted to do, was just go out on faith. I prayed about it. I fasted for weeks at a time. I mean, I screamed a lot because, like, man, it was rough, doing everything by yourself. You're studying, you're watching videos, trying to figure out how to set things up. I go to the bank to try to get help to open up my, LLC. They acting like they don't know what the hell's going on just because I'm black. I'm like, come on. You're a bank. You open up business LLCs every day. So, yeah, I went through a lot of crazy stuff along the way, man. But I just kept my head down, kept praying to God, and keep going.
So, you went to college at all?
Yeah, I went to Texas Tech for business, but after 3 months, I left.
Did you teach you how to raise an LLC?
No. They don't teach you anything like that in school.
That's crazy, man. And so they don't teach you how to raise your identity for your business.
No.
That's the foundation of how
They want you flipping burgers.
They want you want to be.
They want you flipping burgers. They want you working a 9 to 5. They want you to be a slave. That's what they want. They don't want any more Elon Musk. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of more of us coming together and becoming very wealthy and controlling our lives.
Wow. What would you say to your younger self? There's other younger people here. What would you tell to your younger self when you were starting out?
Instead of wanting to be a multimillionaire, I should have said I wanted to be a billionaire. I'd probably be a billionaire right now. I didn't dream big enough.
Do you think becoming a millionaire is having $1 billion in your account, or becoming a billionaire before having the money in your account?
I love that question. You gotta see it here first. If you can see it here and you believe it, you can create it and make it happen.
Are we able?
Yeah.
You're telling me that all of us, we can create that.
All of us are very powerful. The reason why we don't know how powerful we are because look at Big Pharma. You got these pharmaceutical companies giving kids Adderall, giving kids all these drugs to dumb you down, right? So if you're dumbed down, your body don't vibrate at a high enough frequency to be able to go out and like make things happen. They control people like we're in a simulation. As long as people stay in a simulation, stay operating in the matrix, they're gonna keep having the same pattern like their mom and dad had or everybody else. You got to break out. You have to. You got to stop being scared. You got to stop having fear because it takes the same energy. If you just shift it, change that fear into something positive. Why not do that for once? You just shift it.
Break the pattern.
Break the pattern. It's a curse. It's a spiritual curse.
Do you believe in mindset? Because you just talk about frequency, and so what do you mean by frequency? By fear, love? But what is frequencies to you? You think we're all in a frequency right now?
100%. Honestly, I've gotten to a level where, I'm actually a Scientologist. A lot of people may not agree with that, but it's changed my life quite a bit. I can actually feel everybody's energy in this room. I can feel everybody vibrating at different levels. Just because I went through a lot of auditing, a lot of processing and stuff like that in Scientology, and it's made me more theta, made me more spiritual, made me more myself. Before I started Scientology, I couldn't write this book.
What were you saying to yourself when you stop yourself? Like, oh, I don't have time with these, or you put excuses, or what was that?
I didn't believe I could do it.
And you weren't capable.
Yeah, because I had to retrain my mind to what I've been told, the lie I've been told.
I believe a lot of people here have said to themselves, like, oh, I'll write a book throughout my lifetime, or I want to write a book. But can you actually write it? Because it takes the belief in the action, execute it, and you make it like now there.
Yeah, you can do it. I can say if you got time to watch TV and go out and party, you got time to write a book.
That's crazy enough. And in weekends, that's when you build that dream that you had, right?
Yeah.
Because Lily and Nicole with Sasha, I don't know, you remember she was telling me these dreaming that she had, right? And the only way they have that dream to reality is just taking action. Is just believing yourself so hard. Like you said, you're creating that.
You got to create it, man. We're all creators. I mean, faith without works is broken.
Do you think to create that reality of you being a certain frequency, or if you're doing drugs and also doing it like you can make it?
Yeah, you got to be able to be, no, you're not going to make it no drugs. You may make a couple $1 million, but you're going to snort all of it up your nose with the money you made. No, drugs are not good. Drugs are very, very bad for you. They're not good.
So instead of chasing that outside alcohol, the money, it all starts from within. That's what you say.
It all starts with an end. Everybody has abundance because everybody has God that lives in them. Everybody does in this room. That's the lie they took from you. They don't want you knowing that you are a God because God lives in you. So the same power that God has, you have in you. You just got to literally go into that spiritual world, that dimension, through fasting and praying constantly. You're going to be attacked. Get ready. But at the end of that road, it's going to be worth it, I promise you. And once you start becoming successful, you're there now. Don't stop. Say, oh, I'm going to take a break. I got $100,000 in the bank. I'm going to chill. No, keep going. Keep expanding. In the Bible, one of my favorite verses, it says, a wise man will leave wealth for his kids. Not only his kids, but his kids' kids. Legacy. Create a name that's going to live forever. Put everything in a trust. Like the Rock, people wonder why the Rothschilds are so wealthy. They created a legacy. They connect the life insurance policies to the trust.
When you say trust, are you talking about like foreign trust?
Like a revocable trust, structure. You got to have structure. Yeah, you got to have the same structures they have. Copy the model. It can't be broken. The good thing about it, you can't steal trust because the trust is not living; it's dead. So I don't keep any of my assets in my name. I don't own anything, but I control everything. That's how you want to be. And then you want to connect the life insurance policy to it. So when you die, guess what? Your kids get paid. And the lawyers can't run up and try to get money because guess what? It's in the trust. That's what you got to do. You got to create that legacy. So every time somebody dies, it keeps just flowing. It keeps just flowing. Legacy, man.
And so that's a very cool topic to talk about because a lot of people like to talk about how to create money and all that stuff, but how do you keep money? How do you create that wealth? They can keep one generation to generation, right?
I would say what a lot of people mess up is they go out and buy liabilities.
It's very liability. What is it liability?
Liability is something that's not going to make you money. Well, let me correct that because I know I got some partners in here that they own a car company. If you own a car company, you do rentals. Yes, you have assets that make you money, right? That's a business. But if you're out just buying like cars with the money you made right away, that's a liability. Why not take that same $100,000 and put into an asset that's going to appreciate, make you more money? Does that make sense?
So, okay.
Okay.
And so, okay, although real estate, right? Would you say that buying a house and living in the house is a liability or an asset?
I would say get investments first.
So, okay, well, my question is, it will be a liability or an asset to buy a house and live in?
Like to live in it,
Yes.
I would say a liability
And why is that?
because you don't need a house. Rent as long as you can and take your money and invest it. Only way to make money is to keep your money flowing. Don't leave your money in the bank like they tell you. The banks want to just keep your money so they can loan it out 10 times every time.
And so I put that example out there just because the American dream is to buy the house and live in it. But that's a liability. It's not making you money. Go buy the house, rent it out, but live in an apartment. Have a links. I don't know. Like you say, hey, that's my properties first.
Get investment properties. Let your assets pay for your liabilities. Because guess what? You get tax reductions. You know, I bought a Range Rover in December. It was free. Because I had a big tax bill and I'm not paying this shit. And my accountant's like, you don't have to. You want the Range Rover? Go get it. So I got the Range Rover and I got to write it off for the whole year. I got to write off $150,000 for the whole year. I didn't have the car the whole year. I got it in December. You just got to buy before the end of the year, basically.
Oh, thank you for giving us all these tricks. Yeah, some people might know, some people might not. So it's helpful for everybody.
No problem. I appreciate it.
And just to wrap it up, because I think we already gave a lot of value, and we're gonna continue, with the night networking and meeting each other. So where they can find you if you're in Texas, of course, where online, where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Kason Roberts. You can reach out. We have a team that runs all our socials, stuff like that. We get back to you as soon as possible. We're actually on Facebook also. I will be giving out my number. You can reach me on my number also. And I actually brought a couple copies of books. I think I bought like 9 copies, very limited. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be signing a book, letting you get a free picture with me. And I only brought like 9 of these, and they're going for $30 a piece. So I'll be writing a copy signing it for you and giving you a copy.
Man, big shout out to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.